We're back with part 3. Sorry guys, I said I was going to bring you a video every week and I failed, but I'm going to try and get back on track. I have been doing other projects, I just haven't been car related. So part 3, we've got about 2 hours here on this Sunday and we are going to try and tear apart as much as we can. Remember, first video, go back and watch it, all the parts that's getting installed in this Comet. Second video, basically removing the tie rod ends, getting your steering rack or your steering box centered. And in this video, hopefully as much as we can get torn down, and then we can start going to actually installing stuff. So let's get to it. You gotta love California cars. I think this is a California car. So basically strut rods are out. The world's smallest sway bar is out. It's literally the width of my pinky. So I didn't even realize I had a sway bar, but I do. Everything came out super easily. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull the front shocks out. And I'm pretty sure there's 2 bolts on the bottom, bolts and nuts. I'll probably undo this first to try and keep the thing from spinning. I may have to get in there and grab the actual rod with something. I'm not reusing these shocks, but if you were, you want to be careful, try not to mar that. And then you should be able to pull the shocks out from the top, and we'll get closer and closer and closer to eventually, what I'm not really looking forward to is that spring compressor. We may undo like upper and lower ball joints next. I'm not really sure. I don't want this thing to like spring down, so we'll see, but we'll get the shocks out next. Turned off the time lapse that last part. But yeah, you saw me undo the top part, so you can do that. And then I did have a floor jack underneath the lower control arm, but it doesn't really move that much. But when you undo the shock, it does want to go down. But basically, you undo the top first. You may have to grab something on here to keep this from spinning. An impact works better than a ratchet just because it kind of shocks it loose. And then from the bottom, you just get a 1/2 inch. I use an open end wrench for one side and an impact with an extension. These came right off. And then you just pull the shock out through the top. And see if I can kind of show you about what we have left to do. It's gonna be sort of dark. Oh, my light moved around, but gotta get the spring perches out, upper and lower ball joints broken loose. I'm getting pretty close to the part where I use the spring compressor. So I'm probably gonna slow down, watch some videos, and just like make sure I understand this next part, because you wanna be careful with removing, anytime you're removing a spring under a lot of tension. But hopefully I can go in from the top with an internal spring compressor, compress it, undo everything, and then just everything will drop out. We'll see. I think that's supposed to come back out. Anyways, that's gonna about do it for today. That was actually a really good stopping point. I had to wrap it up anyway. We'll come back in the next video and we'll go ahead and remove the upper and lower control arms. This car might actually already have a Shelby drop in it, which is awesome. I'm looking at the bolt holes. I'm gonna send some pictures over to Open Tracker Racing and see if they can't confirm for me. But it looks like this thing may already have a Shelby drop. If it does, it's one thing less that we just don't have to do. Went ahead and grabbed some PB Blaster and sprayed everything down. Whatever type of rust penetrant you want to use, go in there, spray kind of everything down. So far the bolts, knock on wood, have been coming loose very easily, but the next step is going to be compressing that spring so we can get the spring out of there. And then once the spring comes out, more or less everything should be easy. We'll have a lot of parts cleaning to do once we get everything disassembled. The upper control arms we are rebuilding, and sometimes those nuts on the end can be really hard to take apart. We'll try and get everything taken apart. Hopefully we don't run into issues that if we do, we may have to totally buy new upper control arms. I've heard of that happening before, but hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll clean everything up. We'll have to press in some new bushings on the lower control arms. We're getting all new ball joints. I did go and kind of grab stuff and start wiggling it, and I can hear clicking on both sides, which I don't think I should hear. I think those ball joints are shot. I know the boots are ripped, and I think that's probably part of the reason that I've got some kind of funky handling going on. I did label everything, so I made sure to try and label all my parts, strut rods, just everything to like passenger driver side, just so I remember where stuff goes. Because with this project, I'm not working on everything every day. It's just kind of like whenever I have a little bit of free time, I try to hop in the garage, knock it out, and then make a video for you guys. So yeah, next video, we'll hopefully get everything torn down, throw it in the degreaser, get everything cleaned up to a point where we can kind of like hopefully rebuild some things, paint some things, get it nice, new and fresh. And yeah, can't wait to see how this thing handles, but appreciate you guys watching. That was another quick video. We only had like an hour and 45 minutes to do work, and we got some stuff done, so great. Sometimes you can't have 3, 4 hours, 5 hours, a whole day to spend in the garage, but just get the time you can, do what you can. If you're not already subscribed, please do me a favor and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm just a small channel here doing everything myself. So yeah, check you guys next time. Hope you have a great weekend.